Hey, what's up, YouTubers? This is Mike Carson, Cowboy Crunk, going live for the first time. New YouTuber here, starting my channel off. Big time Dallas Cowboy fan from Houston, Texas. Really big time watcher for Mark Holmes, Vach Lombardi, Law Nation. Uh, Love watching you guys' videos, so I'm going to throw some things out there as well and see how this goes. I've got about 200 subscribers now, but that's mainly for car stuff and my old things I used to have. But anyways, uh, nobody on right now. My first time. I know how that goes. So if you guys see this, download it and check it out later. Then subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be going over some things, kind of the same things Mark Holmes does. Vach Lombardi, me and him there in Houston, and doing some things there. Season's about to start. We got big things coming. Of course, everybody's on the big Earl Thomas trade thing. As far as I know, I I think it's a big possibility. Am I for it? It depends on what the numbers are. Everybody's talking if they're for it or not for it, but to me, it depends on the numbers, the length of the contract and the money. If we can get him from around 12, between 12 and 13, maybe, I'm a go. I think it's a good deal. We're kind of thin at safety. We're only lining up three on the roster right now. Of course, we have guys playing corner that could slide in and play safety. But we got two safety positions. You got free and free safety, strong safety. So we are kind of thin there with the move of Jones to cornerback. I really think that was part of it. I think with that move, it's kind of evident that they're looking to do something. I think it's a big possibility. So there's different takes on it, of course. My take is the moves that we've made. Dez is gone. That freed up money. Kind of understand that move. Dez was a vocal guy, and the team belongs to Dak now, and that's just the way it is. That's the way it goes. And with Dak being in charge of the team, it makes it tough when he's in the huddle and he's trying to command that huddle, and Dez is wanting the ball, and he's wanting to help Dak. Dez did it out of passion, of course. I mean, just like any of us would. We're Cowboy fans. You're going to do it out of passion. So, you got to look at it that way. Dez is wanting the ball. Dak's trying to drop back and go through his reads. And in the back of his mind, he's like, well, I need, Dez says he's open. Dez says he's open. But I'm sure it makes it tough in the huddle. Um, this is my first live stream, like I said, guys. So didn't take any notes. I just kind of actually just got this loaded. It was kind of a difficult process to go through. So I got everything rolling, got everything started. My first live stream. I see no one's on here, but if you guys watch the video, hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing some more things. One of the things I want to talk about real quick is the backup quarterback situation. Um Everybody saw Cooper Rush play last year. He played outstanding. Uh, two games, almost complete games. He had six touchdowns, no interceptions. He threw for almost 300 yards, I believe, in both games. Um, and he did that, I know, in a preseason game with backup players against backup defense and a secondary defense and so forth. Uh, but hey, that he looked good in college as well, and he played well during those preseason games. They drafted Mike White. I didn't understand that. I still don't know what the deal is with that because Cooper Rush played well. To me, we have a backup quarterback, but Mike White really was a good pickup. They got him in a good spot, and you know, to me, I know we're not going to carry three quarterbacks. I don't see it being possible. The reason is we need those positions. We only got a 53 man roster. We need those positions, those 53 man positions. Those Most teams carry two quarterbacks. That's just the way it goes. And most teams do that because you put your third quarterback on your practice squad, and that frees up your other players to give you more spots for special teams, uh, backup players, role players, and so forth. So I don't see us carrying three quarterbacks. But why did they draft Mike White if supposedly, um, Cooper Rush looks so good? He played really well. Dak Prescott, he only had a few games last year with three touchdowns, and Cooper Rush did it back to back. Not saying he's better than Dak Prescott or anything like that. I think we have a very, very I think we have a very, very quarterback friendly offense. Not just Dak friendly. I think our offense is just quarterback friendly. The fact that it's quarterback friendly, I think that's going to make Cooper Rush look good in the preseason. I think Dak Prescott's going to have to play quite a bit in the preseason because we got these new receivers. That he needs to sync with those guys. We don't even know what's going on at tight end. We've got four guys. No one really knows who's on the top, who's where. Everybody loves Rico Gathers, but no one knows if he's going to make the team or if he's going to be number one or if he's going to be. It's crazy. He is different. He's a different animal at tight end than the other three guys. So to me, you've got to keep Rico Gathers, even if he's your third tight end, because you may need, on 1st and 20 or on a penalty, after a penalty or a 2nd and 15, or last year one play during the game, and we actually achieved that first down. Rico Gathers wasn't in there, but we had a 1st and 30 last year after 2 penalties, and we got the first down. Dak had to throw the ball. He used Dez, and Dez was a big part of us getting that first down. So we need some type of playmaker. I don't see us really having that right now, unless one of the other tight ends steps up or one of the receivers, comes off crazy. But anyways, back to the quarterback thing. I really think we have a quarterback-friendly offense, and if both of these quarterbacks play well, if they really play well, you can't put him on the practice squad. Someone will take him in. We wasted a draft pick, or we wasted Cooper Rush. So I think possibly, if all works out well, both quarterbacks play well. Dak syncs with the receivers and tight ends, and we find out our offense is Dak friendly, and then we find out it's quarterback friendly through Cooper Rush playing like he did last year. And if Mike White is as good as everyone thinks he may be, he's going to play well. So we'll end up with 2 backup quarterbacks that play great. That's trade bait. If you look at the Seattle Seahawks, and I know this is crazy, everybody's Earl Thomas. If you look at the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson led them last year in rushing, and he played a good part of the year injured. Nagging injuries all season. And Seattle Seahawks do not have a backup quarterback at all. You look at their quarterbacks, I can't even recall the guys' names right now, but I looked them up the other day, and their backup quarterback seen that to me it looks horrible. I looked at their stats and everything, and they could use a backup quarterback. Maybe that's our door to open this Earl Thomas trade. One of these guys plays good in the first or second, first or second playoff game. I'm sure Earl Thomas is going to show up. He's going to show up for the playoff games, hoping. Or if he's holding out, we may have to sign him before then. But if it goes into the preseason, maybe Cooper Rush or Mike White, maybe Seattle's interested in him. We slide them over to Seattle. Earl Thomas comes to us. We do his long-term contract, and that deal is closed. That's my take on it. Like I said, I really have faith in our secondary right now. It looks great. The new secondary coach we got, Chris Richard, I think is going to make a big difference there. I think the players are there. We had so many tweak the hamstrings that slowed us down at the beginning of the season. That was horrible for our rookies last year. I don't think any of them were on the field at the beginning of the season. Chidobe Awuzie had it. Jordan Lewis had it. Our secondary played extremely well. If you watch the Oakland game, I think it was game 14 or game 13, week 14, something like that. The Oakland game, we played outstanding defense, man. It really was amazing. And let's see, David Irving was out that game, as well as someone else on the defense. The other player wasn't a big concern, but watch that game. I think our secondary is coming around. I really do think Earl Thomas could help us. I think it's a done deal the way things have moved. Even I think they knew this earlier that they were going to make it happen. That's why the move to moving Jones to moving Jones. Hey, what's up, Cowboy Face? How you doing, brother? Hey, this is my first live YouTube stream, so you might, if you like what you hear, back it up and listen to it again. Subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. I watch a lot of Mark Holmes. I have stuff that I have a lot of beliefs in him as well. Also, I watch a lot of Okoye. Okoye is awesome, man. Really good guy. What's up, Buddy Johnson? How you doing, brother? Appreciate it. You're my number 2 guy, man. I've been on here 10 minutes. Go back and watch the video if you guys like it. Subscribe to the page. I'm going to try to do at least a video every other day or so. I am calling in from Afghanistan. I'm a contractor over here. I am from Houston, Texas. I'm a huge Cowboy fan. I was at the draft there with Mark Holmes. We had I was the guy that drove the other RV out there. I don't know if any of you guys were there. We had a lot of fans out at the draft. That was really awesome. But what I was going over was the backup quarterback situation, how it plays out. I don't think we can. And the other guys, we all agreed last night on the live stream that I don't think they can carry 3 running backs, or excuse me, 3 quarterbacks. And the reason is we need those spots for special teams, role players. Like Tavon Frazier, he's already taken up. He's already kind of taken up a role spot. They don't know if he's a running back or a receiver. We've already got a full group of receivers. We've already got a bunch of defensive linemen. So my thoughts on it, I'm hoping they play these 3 quarterbacks. Dak is our starter. How that's going to work. But I think he's going to have to play quite a bit in the preseason because he's got to get used to these quarterbacks. He's got to get used to the receivers. Excuse me. And the tight ends, we don't know what they're doing. He hasn't worked with any of these guys. It's pretty much an all-new receiving crew, receivers and tight ends. So I think Dak's going to have to play quite a bit in the preseason. We'll see how it goes. And I also think I hope we keep Rico Gathers. I don't know if you guys give me some hits on this. You guys, Rico Gathers fans, I think he's just a different animal at tight end. If you don't need him to block on a play, if it's 1st and 20, or last year we had one play during the season. I said this earlier in the video. We had what happened with LaShawn McCoy? I didn't hear anything about that. I heard about the of course, the Giants player that had the dead guy in his basement, and also there was another player that was accused of murder just 2 days ago. I'm not recalling it. I'm in my video mode right now. I was preparing for this video, but my thing with Rico Gathers is I think he's a different animal. We had a play last year, a situation we had a 1st and 30 last year, and it was due to penalties. So in those situations, a 1st and 20 or a 2nd and 15 or a 3rd and 10 or a 3rd and 12, you're going to have some type of receiver that can make a play for you. Yards after the catch, or a tight end that's 6'8", 282 pounds. And Rico is 6'8". I know they're listing him at 6'7", but I watched the guy play through Baylor. He has all the Baylor records for rebounds. He has really good soft hands. I mean, a rebounder has to have soft hands. So I think they need to keep him, keep the 2 of the other tight ends and put one on the on the practice squad in case they have injury problems. But our backup quarterback situation, I think Dak, of course, will play quite a bit in the preseason. I think he needs to. If Cooper Rush looks great like he did last year, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, and almost 600 yards for 2 games. I mean, those are actually better numbers than Dak usually puts up. Uh, his child and beating. Yeah. I recall now. Yeah, of course, it's not a cowboy, so it's not on the front page of YouTube. But yeah, I did see the domestic violence and about the his child and also the dog, uh, or the child, excuse me. Yeah, I saw that. Of course, like I said, it's not on the front page of YouTube because um, it's not the Dallas Cowboys. It's just a different story. But I think if both of those quarterbacks do play well, we have trade bait because they can't carry 3 quarterbacks. Uh, there are a lot of third and longs last year. That was the problem last year. We got to stop that. Yeah, it's true. And I know, without Sean Lee, we went 1-6. Ezekiel Elliott was gone. Those 6 games that Ezekiel Elliott was gone, we lost the first 3. So we had some issues last year. Though you put both of those guys on the roster pretty much the whole year, and we guarantee we at least win 2, possibly 3 of those, 7 or 8 games that window was there. Out of that 7 or 8 games, we win 2 or 3 of those. We go from 9-7 to 12-4 easily. There's just for having those 2 guys there. So injuries played a big part of it last year, and that's football. Staying healthy is a big part of it, and I think that's one good thing about Dak. He's a really thick, solid quarterback. You look at his ankles, you look at his wrist. He's a big guy. He's thick. He's not fragile. He's not thin anywhere, and he's smart. He gets down when he needs to. Cam Kelly, Chris Richard, that guy is long. He's lean. He's quick. Uh, you know, that could be one of those things. I think I think they really want to get Earl Thomas over, but I think it's a mistake if he asks too much or if he goes too long on the contract. I think anything more than 12 mil a year, I would walk away and pick him up next year and see what our guys got. But I really understand that guy right there also could win you 2 of the games we probably lost last year. When you have a game and you think about games we lose, if you remove 2 or 3 plays from a game, a lot of times just 2 or 3 plays in a game decide the game. And if you have a player like Earl Thomas, a lot of times that guy will make those 2 or 3 plays that win you the game. Those are playmakers. That's why they call them playmakers. That's why they make the big money. Those guys, the Ray Lewis type people, the way DeMarcus Lawrence played last year, the way David Irving stepped up at times and played really well. You look at truthfully, Taco Charlton didn't get a lot of playing time, but if you compare his playing time to his numbers, he really played well. He's young. Defensive ends, it takes them a while to get. That's a man position. You talk about a lineman, a defensive end, linebackers. Those are big, strong men up there. They come into those positions after a year, 2 years of playing well and learning the strengths. But to me, Cam Kelly is the yeah, he can be. I haven't watched a lot of his footage. I know also Vach likes him, Vach Lombardi. Um, he breaks down film. That's the guy to go to if you want to look at a player. Uh, put Cam Kelly, Vach in the search on YouTube, and I'm sure you can find some good videos. I think he has a video where he broke him down. Also, Okoye. I don't know if you know Okoye, Buddy Johnson. If you know Okoye, he also uh, breaks down. He's new also to YouTube. But he does some good breakdowns. And if you send Vach a request, if he doesn't have a video on Cam Kelly, a breakdown of him, I'm sure he'll do one. But yeah, he's long, lean. He's built like Sherman, Richard Sherman, and he's one of those guys that if ET if he asks for too much money, then you stick with what we have, and you work Cam Kelly, you work everybody's a lot of guys are down on Jeff Heath, but I think he plays well. I think he takes bad angles at times, and that's something Mark Holmes agrees on. He takes bad angles at times, but a lot of times he makes big plays. He is like a mini playmaker at times. That Oakland game I just was talking about, our defense was amazing against Oakland, and he made some big plays in that game. He made the game that actually won. He made the play that won the game at the end. If you don't recall, he put his hand and on the lower back or upper back of the quarterback, Oakland's quarterback. I can't think of his name right now. And caused them to fumble the ball out of bounds, which was a touchback. Took the points away that they were about to score and give them the lead. So, yeah, I'm really big on our secondary this year. I think we'll do great, and I appreciate you guys watching the first video. Like I said, this is my first. I do spend a lot of time talking with Mark Holmes on the phone on Skype, and watch his YouTube page. Watch Lombardi also, Foots, Cowboy Nation, and Law Nation. You guys probably all watch the same guys, but Cowboys with Chris Richard, these safeties we have now will be fine. Yeah, I agree with that also. I think what we have is fine, but I do think if Earl Thomas comes in, that's if you watch Cowboy Face, go to Okoye's page and watch one of his videos. He mentions the Earl Thomas thing as well, and he looks at the numbers. And I listened to his video, and he'll change your mind on some things. He had me thinking the same thing for a little time, that we don't need Earl Thomas, and that's why actually I think now we shouldn't get him unless the numbers are right. He really wants to come to Dallas, so he may come there. He may come to Dallas, not for free, of course, but he may come to Dallas as on a discount. Take less than he would in Chicago. Yeah, Koye has great film, but watch the one. He really convinced me to think about the Earl Thomas thing different. I really want Earl Thomas. I know it would step our defense up. Oh man, big time. And what he mentioned on there was that I can't remember which video I was watching, but he mentions the thing that the free safety has is when you're standing in the back, and as soon as the play is over, you're watching as the free safety. You're watching what players are coming in. Maybe they're bringing in two running backs and taking out a tight end and a lineman, or taking out a receiver and a tight end and you see all that. So when you go to the huddle as the free safety, you know what package they have, and the defensive coordinator doesn't know that. He doesn't get to see that usually till they're breaking from the huddle, or if he can look in the huddle and kind of tell. In the huddle it's kind of hard to tell who's there. The free safety and the defensive line coach really doesn't have a good angle to see who's coming in. The free safety can see who's coming in on the field, who's walking in from as soon as the play ends. The next guys are coming in, two players are running out. The free safety comes to the huddle with that information, and that's what Sean Lee does a lot. Sean Lee is capable of knowing the package that's on there. If the defense, and that's why he's allowed to adjust the defense and call audibles, and you'll see him jumping up and down. To me, Sean Lee is he's like the Peyton Manning of defense. I really think he's awesome, man. He basically breaks down the offense before the play is snapped, and he'll audible guys and move Jalen Smith over and pull a safety up or tell a corner to. You see a lot of movement from Sean Lee. If you just focus on him, what I like to do is watch the games from last year, and I'll just watch Sean Lee. or just watch Jalen Smith, or just watch DeMarcus Lawrence, and watch the game again, a week later, and just watch another player. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I want to pick this up. I had 4 viewers at once. That's hey, it's a first. But go back and watch the video if you guys like, and hit the subscribe button. Like the video if you guys don't mind. I want to keep doing this. I'll come up with more information and have my ideas on how things go. And enjoy our Cowboys. Peace from Afghanistan. Cowboy love. Cowboy Nation. I'm out. Play that.